Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for the big cheese. I'm gonna stop supporting the regime of Switzerland. That's gonna make their liberty desire go down not as much. And I'm gonna start supporting the regime of the Ottoman Empire. And that's gonna make their liberty desire go way down. And then we'll be able to get them as a subject, and everything will be hunky-dory. Hunky-dory from Finding Nemo. That's how that works. Don't look up the fan art. Don't look it up. I know it exists. You know it exists. Don't look it up. In fact, pretend I didn't say anything. Actually, TBH fact, that's what you should do. How's our United Construction Conglomerate? Are they buying other businesses yet? Yes, they are. Okay, cool. They're still earning a lot of dividends from those steel mills, but, you know, we'll see. A South German voice. The rural folk has been championing the passing of racial segregation, starting in their own ranks. A South German politician may take over leadership in the fight for the culture's acceptance in Italy. Sending message to others is a part of it, but it is not the only reason. We need to reevaluate who is truly capable and deserving of certain positions in our organization, who has been passed over and ignored in less enlightened times. If we succeed, all of Italy will have to do the same. Equality starts here. 20% enactment chance and a new character. Or, Aquila Pignatelli's leadership is needed in these uncertain times. Both of them seem to have the same effect. I'll go with the more higher enactment success chance. Hopefully this guy will be good. I guess we'll find out. So he'll be the leader of the country? No, he will not. It said a new character appears. Is he an agitator? Doesn't seem like it. Let's see if I can recruit him in as an agitator. So he'll be a rural folk guy with a German name. Not this guy. No, he's French. Unclear. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, my point is... Hey, there's the radio. Beautiful. And we got open hearth process. Beautiful. I'm going to swap the steel mills over to open hearth process. Hopefully that will lead them to being more productive. I'm also going to start producing radios. And hopefully that will be sufficient. We're almost clean on bureaucracy, but we're not quite clean. Not sure why that thing said Berlin for a second. So, we'll throw this at the top. And we'll nearly get there. So, now that we're producing radios, that's going to increase the electricity demand in all of my locations with electrics industries because that costs 50 electricity per one. So Istria and Umbria both need additional power. Umbria is here by 2 levels. We'll throw those at the top of the queue as well. There's no such thing as construction queue management, only throwing stuff at the top and hoping it works. Now we're doing defense in depth, and that's going to get us our siege artillery, which will be very, very nice. Alright, beautiful. How are things going in society? We're almost done with iBanks, and that'll be fun. Now, yep. Oh, and we also have a transportation shortage in Lazio, which is not great. Dang. We are really building up a lot of rail infrastructure in Lazio here. Gosh, dang. I may need to go to electric trains, friends. I may need to do it, because I think the only other option is building another 10 levels of railways. Although we are going to research that. It's just going to take some time, because we're not going to be there until electric railways, and all these are going to take quite a bit of time. Discord within the Catholic Church. An influential faction within the Catholic Church has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of racial segregation. Themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you all stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass. Extra enactment chance, weaker Catholic Church, or the rural folk extend an open hand to these mavericks. Less enactment chance total, significantly weaker Catholic Church, stronger rural folk. I'm going to go with the second one. Hopefully that'll work. Now, hopefully this will not increase the activism of the reactionary movement. I don't think it will. Hey, oil in Libya. Wonderful. Yeah, because the reactionary movement likes racial segregation just fine. They're perfectly pleased with that. Oh my gosh. Oh, something going on in a sec. Ah, a rebellion. You get him, Australia. Australia, are you? Yeah, you're still a dominion of the British. Alright, that's fine. We'll chill. There's investment banks. Beautiful. Extra free company charters, which is also nice. I could form another company. United Construction. What can you get? I can give you industry rights to the lead mines. Because I got free charters. On the other hand, give you investment rights. Yes. Let's do this. All my companies have investment rights, right? Yes, they do. Alright, beautiful. Wonderful. That's just wonderful. And once United Construction Company is profitable, they'll be able to, things will be a lot better for them. Alright, so the steel mills in Lombardy are producing a majority of the company's dividends, which isn't great. I'm basically funneling money directly into the company. And how much am I funneling? About 5K a week. It's not great policy, friends. It's not what you'd call sound fiscal policy. In fact, I think I maybe shouldn't have did that, but I'll keep doing it a little longer, just while they continue to purchase useful and effective industries. Investment pool still seems to be rock solid. And then, you know, they'll diversify a bit, and then eventually that situation will be sorted out. Law progressed to study. Wonderful. Still a little hair short in bureaucracy. So, you know, maybe we'll build another... I gotta start using that shift-click method or whatever. To make sure that works. Figure out how to get it to work. And get it working. Still a little bit short on electricity in a lot of different areas, but again, we're working on it. Second round of power plants is nearing completion, or is nearing commencement, really. The power plant situation is different than it's been in previous patches. Let's finish out these mines that are mostly dug, just to get them finished. Because power plants used to produce a lot more, but I understand why they fixed it up, because, oh my goodness. Scandinavian leadership. Neat. I just hope both sides have fun. Sweden are my friends, so if everything is chill with them, things will be good. Alright, France has lost control of their capital, so they should be losing the war promptly. And what is at stake in this war? Just Algiers. Oh, they're also going to be humiliated and lose to Haiti. That's very little. Okay, Denmark backs down. Alright, so that means... Oh, they didn't immediately form Scandinavia. Alright, well, maybe later. Perhaps soon we shall have a Scandinavia worth Scandinaving. Can I get to freaking... compulsory primary school? No, I don't have anyone that likes it. Bernardino Berti of the communist movement. Okay, and you're aligned with the rural folk. Interesting. So, let me see. Communists do like... they don't... This guy will not help me with that. This guy will not help me with that, and he will not help me with, welfare. So, really limited value, Mr. Bertie. Limited value. The Great Train Smash. An enterprising entertainer has arranged for two aging locomotives to run into each other at a local fair. The resulting collision may pose danger to the crowd, although that hasn't stopped the Romualdo Bernatti di Momo, leader of the armed forces, from declaring that he will have a front row seat at the event. We're crying out loud, why? Why do you want to see a crash so badly? Honestly, I believe that somewhere in the makeup of every normal person, myself included, there lurks the suppressed desire to smash things up. Everyone enjoy the spectacle. He becomes more popular, and there's a 10% chance he dies. If he doesn't, extra loyalists from political movements in Abruzzo for 2 years, or forbid him from attending. Armed forces get mad. He doesn't get more popular, but 10% chance of radical pops, and he doesn't die. I'm going to do the first one. Enjoy the spectacle. He did not die. Life is good. Alright. It seems I've once again created an excess of bureaucracy, which is fine. I'm going to leave my institutions where they are, because I'm almost assuredly going to overrun my capacity at any rate, as long as I'm pissing off the petite bourgeoisie by letting the Spanish vote. Or at least threatening to. Because that's ultimately what our goal is here. Speaking of Spain, things are going well. We still have our defensive pact. They have banned slavery, and we're granting trade privileges to each other, which is nice. We are at voting, and that'll be very good. Now, what do I want to do with the rest of my... influence is the end of that phrase. I'm going to improve relations with Portugal. I'm going to improve relations with Norway, Denmark. Belgium is no longer really my enemy in any way that matters. Netherlands... Oh, actually, Netherlands is my rival. But Belgium is not my rival. In fact, they're a minor at this stage. So, is this something that's feasible? Not really. Too many countries that could step in against me. So I'm not going to worry about it. It was fun. It was fun to entertain the idea. Maybe get myself a protectorate in the north, but I'm not going to worry about it. Ooh, Kurt von Colton, exiled from Finland, who is doing a communism? Yeah, seems that way. Vanguard states. Oligarchic council republic, interventionism, free trade, state religion, national supremacy. Interesting. Curious construction of a state, but the world is curious. Spain, why are you and Britain threatening to have a scrap? And why am I not involved? Is it this one? Is it this one? Because it's the Senegal. Gosh darn it. I need to declare interests. I've got a lot of interests I can declare. Nile. All over Africa. Oceania. Persia. That should help with my power projection at any rate. Evangelizing stops. Because Britain's really going after someone over here. Oh. Have they queued in 1 million war goals? Yeah, they're trying to steal Syria and Aleppo. Gosh darn it. Darn it, I wanted to steal those states. Curses. Syria and Aleppo. Well, I mean, that's going to make it easier for me to take a dump. And there's racial segregation. Wonderful. Government petition completed. Extra legitimacy? A little bit. A little bit of extra legitimacy. Yeah, Britain's really been running rampant all around this area. So, yes, I'm aware of the existence of a lot of countries now. Clear out those notifications. Am I embargoing Belgium, or are they embargoing me? They're embargoing me. Stop it. Should I embargo Austria? That's an interesting option. I'm not quite sure how embargoes work these days because of the way the world market functions, but... curious. Actually paying quite a bit in interest at this point. Oyo is back down. Alright. There's defense and def. Alright, so... let's upgrade our artillery to siege artillery. And that is going to provide a nice shot in the arm for our electrics industries, which are now profitable, and lead to the creation of a radios market. And probably make radios really expensive because I'm not actually producing all that many of them. Yeah, seems that way. Alright, beautiful. But, okay. So we definitely need more electrics, because everyone wants to buy our electrics, which is just fine. But the private sector will have to handle it because I have too many iron mines to build in Turkey to worry about that kind of thing. And then 1 million railways to build in my capital. That's beautiful. So now we're working on bolt-action rifle and automatic machine gun. And that's going to keep us really at the bleeding edge of military affairs for the time being. Still experiencing a lot of electricity shortages, which I'm not super duper pleased about. But electricity short. I really am actually feeling the pressure of the new electricity system because I think I really need steam turbine actually. So maybe we'll put that in actually before electric railways because we're going to need that to produce enough power to actually do all this other stuff. So we'll re-queue that. We'll queue in steam turbine. I've got the combustion engine. That's going to unlock a lot of interesting things. We'll put in electric railways. We'll circle back to the combustion engine because we started working on that already. And then, over in society, we'll finish out camera, which is currently spreading to us. And then central planning. And then we'll snag multilateral alliances because that reduces our infamy gain. Speaking of which... Wow, Egypt's actually winning this war down here, which is delightful. Huh. Egypt's in it. Egypt, Spain, and non-negotiating participants. There's not really that many. That's curious. I wonder why they're losing so bad. Maybe the British economy never really recovered from being... from the loss of India. We'll see. We'll see. Netherlands, are you still a major? You are still a major. And Occitania, of course, is still a great power. But hear me out. No, I can't. I can't steal Occitania. I can steal some more bits of Austria. If I steal bits of Austria, just break off some chunks. What's the implication on that? If I steal Tyrol... 22 infamy. Russia and Canada step in, but nobody else does. I can take the Russians and the Canadians. The Austrians are lower tech than I am for now. They've got a larger army, but it's a lower tech army. France will not be involved. Moldavia is on this. Ooh, actually. What if... What if I transferred Moldavia? Who would be involved? Russia, almost assuredly. Ottoman Empire would probably be on my side, although they might not. But I, not really scared of them, to be honest. 11 infamy. Ooh, temptation size large. I don't think Canada would actually step in. And I think I can take the Russians and the Austrians. So I might be able to make this happen. I think I'm going to do it. It's only 11 infamy. If I do this, though, I won't be able to take Tyrol. Which I do want to take, because there's a lot of Swiss-speaking people there, and I could transfer them to Switzerland. Maybe I'll see. Maybe I'll see. I might be able to get a return war goal for Switzerland. We'll see. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. We're doing... We're going to Fightsville. Right. So, add war goal. Can also steal Krakow, but that hardly seems polite. If I conquer Tyrol... Yeah, 22.2 infamy, I'm not going to risk that. So, let's mobilize, and we'll raise the conscripts. And we'll get everyone to the front. I know it's not typically considered within meta to raise conscripts as soon as you start a war, but, you know, I think it's sensible. Let's get our fleets here to this sea node, because I want to stop up Austria. I can live with Russia. I can live with Russia being Russia. Meanwhile, there's a radical revolt in Perak that I just can't be bothered to deal with. Shortage of radios in the market. Alright, that's not ideal. Russia's improving relations. Wonderful. Well, that means they might not step in. Which would be nice. I would be delighted if they did not step in. Not loving this force comparison, to be honest. Let's see what the enemy's got. Line and skirmish infantry. They do have shrapnel artillery, but I've got siege artillery and trench infantry. So maybe I'll be able to push forward. Now, we got some low org here. And part of that's the munitions shortage, and part of it's the radio shortage. I think I'm going to build up the electrics industry. I'm going to do a little more. Okay, so it's alt-click to get them at the top of the queue. So we'll do a couple more. And then hopefully that'll make the armies a little bit more good. We'll set these to privatize. Okay, Canada's in the war. Alright. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with that without a problem. Let's, and then Russia sides. Alright. Fine. We'll set these armies to defend for now, so that we don't wind up in a kerfuffle. I feel confident in our ability to win by defending. There are countries I could sway in, but only the Ottoman Empire. They want Montenegro or Dobruja. Let's not bring in the Ottomans. I'm not really thinking that's a smart play at this stage. And I'm building up the electrics industry as fast as I can. Okay, so, you know, lesson learned on that. I could have been smarter about that, but I wasn't. So. And there's a new mandate. Now, do I want any more war goals? Could humiliate Austria. It'd be fun. Reduce prestige and leverage generation. I'll throw that in there. Now, do I want to steal Tyrol? I really desire to steal Tyrol, but here's the thing. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm outrunning where I'm threatening my ability to get the Ottoman Empire down in Liberty Desire. And that's really the thing that's the concern. So, we'll let that be. Probably we're bringing in a lot of ammo over from overseas, but that's to be expected. Any of these countries I could sway away, doesn't seem like it. I should improve relations with Canada. Canada does seem to have diplomatic autonomy, which is interesting to a certain degree. I guess dominions have diplomatic autonomy to a certain degree. So, we'll start on defense, and when our enemies start pressing forward, we'll deal a bunch of damage to them, and then we'll be able to go forward better and faster. And that will be how we win. Austria's embargoing us, you know, buddy, right back at you. I guess it's not a shock that they embargoed us. I still think I have a superior ability to win this war. Austria Unredacted. A book rejected for publication in Austria due to their restrictive laws has been accepted by an Italian publisher. The printer's devil picked up in an unfamiliar typeface. His master noticed his curiosity and nodded towards it. That's for an Austrian book we're printing. Why are you printing Austrian books here? The printer shrugged. It's a free country. The publisher should show more tact and respect our neighbors, improves Austrian relations by 30, but makes the intelligentsia and trade unions mad. Or by the laws of Italy, they have the right to print it, makes the trade unions and intelligentsia happy, but makes Austria mad. I'm going to piss off the Austrians by minus 30, which is quite a bit. And that'll be what it is. It's the end of spring for someone somewhere in the world. But here in Italy, the spring will never end. Someone wrote a play about that. don't look it up. That was tasteless. But we're not going to do a fascism in this run. Alright. Despite our low organization issues with our armies, I still have confidence in our ability to win. Whichever way forward. With the attitude of the industrialists toward the United States of America growing more apathetic, their leadership has begun to reassess the group's support for the Italian-American Society. It was more difficult to get appointments at the foreign ministry these days. The initial interest they had inspired had long since waned, the lobby's activities falling into Rome's background noise. The industrialists were the first to lose interest, their representatives initially disheartened by an absence of news, then no longer inclined to read the papers when they arrived at all. What reason do we have to care for what happens in Washington, D.C.? The younger members challenged. The elders did not know how to respond. Time for a change in course, they leave the society, or I change something that works, they remain. I'm going to have them remain. The Italian-American Society is a reasonable lobby to be part of, and I don't want to necessarily put myself in a situation where they join a more problematic one. Delicious water. Oh, interesting. Ottoman Empire, how could you? How could you do this? Alright, we have battles kicking off. We are winning here. We are winning here. And we are winning here. Beautiful. And as you can see, the amount of damage we dealt to the enemy has already significantly improved our force comparison. 6 more weeks until those electrics industries get finished, and that should help solve our shortage of radios, and then maybe we'll start moving forward. I think our technological superiority has really come in clutch in this war with how much damage we're able to do to the enemy without taking too much ourselves. As you can see, they're scrambling additional troops, but I feel extremely strongly that we'll be able to win this war without suffering much. Except for cash flow, but that'll be fine. We'll be fine. That'll be completely fine. Once this week ends, we'll pause government construction. And let's increase taxes. That should make that easier. Keep this force comparison. Well, the enemy's not moving forward now, but I think we can start heading forward, and we'll see how our enemies react. Let me take a look at Reckless Advance. So Reckless Advance is higher advance speed, extra offense, increased morale loss, reduced recovery rate, and extra blunder and aggressive maneuver chance. I don't think that's worth it. We'll simply advance. So, force comparisons 18. Our armies are commencing forward. And let's see how our first battles are happening. We do appear to be winning significantly superior offense, which I'm feeling pretty pleased about. This is a large battle, and if we can win it, we'll be able to deal significant damage to our enemy's overall strength. See, this line being going down lower. That's the effect of that field hospitals thing that I did earlier. It looks as though we are successfully moving forward, and that has improved our force comparison by a bit. USA colonized the Solomon Islands, and they are in a panicked retreat now, so that's beautiful. So this is the part where the force comparison really starts to be impacted. Beautiful. Nice. Alright, we are continuing to press forward. And this is where our technological advantage is really coming in clutch. So hopefully we can take the capital and that'll get us Moldavia. If not, we'll just push all the way across Austria to Moldavia. Is that a sensible way to go about this? Maybe. Let's take a look. Austria is pretty low in war support. Obviously, they have protection. Russia does not have protection. They haven't suffered that many casualties, though. Although they've lost 100% of the battles, which is nice. A stable supply of power. With the recent expansion of power plants in Lazio, has inspired faith in a future where all of Italy is electrified. Trapping the power of the roaring rivers and waterfalls by transforming it into the power of a thunderstorm must be a sign that we are approaching the final stage of man's mastery over nature. Are we ready? Morally, intellectually, spiritually? It matters not. It is coming. Unlimited power! 33% more power plant throughput, or there must be other ways to produce electricity. Extra progress towards steam turbine. I'm actually going to take the progress towards steam turbine because I'm feeling that I kind of need that pretty desperately. That having been said, that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.